On today's episode, I'm going to answer a very quick question for you. Blogging on your website, or should you use Substack? Welcome to the Up in My Business podcast with me, Lex Lancaster, where you'll get an inside look at all things tech, business, and my life as a physical therapist turned digital operations expert. You'll hear all about my lessons as a business owner, the ins and outs of tech for your business, and more. From SEO, websites, and email marketing to automations, launches, and copywriting, I've got you. I'm so excited you're here. Let's dive in. Before we start today's episode, I'd love to highlight our show sponsor, Jane. Jane app is a clinic management software and EMR designed to help practitioners grow and manage their clinics. They do this with the helpful features like online booking, scheduling, billing, and documentation, and they are the best, let me tell you. Whether you're working solo or in a large multidisciplinary clinic, no-shows and late cancellations are something that every practitioner faces, and they can be super frustrating. Jane offers several tools to help you prevent and manage those no-shows, including the ability to save a credit card on file and send out automated SMS and email reminders, and they are truly a game changer. Learn more about Jane's helpful features at jane.app/payments. Listeners can also include a code LEX1MO, again it's LEX1MO, at the time of sign up for a 1-month grace period applied to your Jane account. Hello, and welcome back to another episode of Up in My Business. I'm Lex, the host of Up in My Business. If you're new around here, welcome. If you are back for more, thank you so much. Today is going to be a very quick, I realize I say that every time, but today will be a very quick episode because I wanted to answer a question I've been getting pretty, I don't want to say frequently, but enough that I want to say something on it so that way this exists. And then I'm also probably going to throw it up on Instagram at some point. But really simple question that I've been getting about blogging and where you should be blogging, whether it's Substack or your website. So we'll go through that. As far as business and life stuff, excuse me. Business stuff, no real updates. I will say I have one more date left for a do in a day SEO signature start before August. So I have one more day left. I have a bunch of discovery calls booked, so we'll see what happens with that. So if you aren't interested in working together, I will say this year, because when we hit July starts a bunch of I'm not working, which means the only people who have access to me will be my retainer clients. So I just have so much stuff that's in my schedule, so I have to move things around to make everything fit. So I know that once July really passes and August is here, shit really hits the fan as far as life goes, in the best way, but it just means that I will have less time available for people who are not my retainer clients to actually book with me. So for what it's worth, just want to mention that to you while I'm thinking of it. And then what else we got here? I feel like that's really the only thing. If you did miss out on the website audit challenge, I do recommend going and grabbing the website audit mini course. I know, feels like I have a frog in my throat. I know obviously I'm going to say it's good, but truly go take a look at the testimonials. I need a drink. Oh my God, I'm dying. Okay. Go take a look at the testimonials and just see what people got out of it. I feel like it was super valuable and I don't want to say more valuable than I assumed it would be, but it was really, really valuable for people who honestly were just starting their websites, wanted to start their websites, had a really old website. And it's just opened a lot of doors for, future edits, what have you, additions onto websites and creations of new websites and all the things. So I would recommend going, I'll link it, but checking out that sales page, info page, because you can enroll at any point in time. It's living on my website at this point. But if you have, any sort of, questions regarding, okay, well, what does this thing actually do? I would definitely recommend I'm literally choking on something. I recommend checking out the testimonials. So that's all I got for you. I do have one personal thing. So on the personal front, huge thank you to Nicole Shaka, because she referred us to a new groomer. And well, the groomer did a great job. So really happy with the haircut that Moose got, which, just so you know, like, Moose has curly hair, so it's tough to cut. And she's a golden doodle. So if you don't know how to groom a golden doodle, it's different. So I feel like people laugh at me when I say that, but it's different. So some groomers are not good at it. And we were hiring these people who are really convenient. If you listen to this podcast, you know that I was having people come to the house and I was like, this is so convenient. It's so easy because they come to us. But the problem is they kept shaving her, and they would tell us that it was because she had mats. And like I said last week in this episode, or in my episode, I was like, we take care of the dog, and Shantae is very, she tries to find the mats whenever there are any. So anyway, yeah, so it's really not, she didn't have mats, and we brought her to this other groomer, and they actually hand combed her. They hand clipped her. It was an altogether better experience, and she did not get shaved. And I asked them about the mats, and this is the longest she's been in a really long time. So I know that if she were going to get mats, it would be with like how her hair was before we brought her. And the woman was like, no, she was fine. So we fully assumed they were just shaving her because they were lazy, but I digress. Okay, so let me jump into the episode. I promised short, and we're 6 minutes in, so this will be short from here on out. There is a question that I've been getting, and people just ask me, I want to start a blog, or I have a blog. Should I be using my website, like a blog insert, a blog page on my website, or should I invest in something like Substack? So if you don't know what Substack is, totally cool, but Substack is built for blogging. So Substack, you can go there, you just write long form content, and it exists on Substack. A blog insert on your website, that's a blog, and you can write multiple, blog posts within that blog on your website. And the question then becomes, well, if there are two places to host it, where do I host it? Or where do I put it? And then should I put it on both? The big red no, absolutely not, is to put it on both. You don't want to have a Substack account and a website and publish the same content in two places. That is not going to turn out well. But if you want to start a blog, or you want to have a blog, this is my opinion on putting it on your website or doing Substack. If you're going to put it on your website, the benefits of that, obviously it's part of your brand. So if you have a website for your brand, you have services that you offer that you write about in that blog, it's going to be associated with your brand. So for me, the people that I work with, 99.99999% of the time, it's going to be blogging on your website. There's no reason not to, because it's going to help the SEO, of course, on your website, so getting found on Google, but also it just is associated with your brand. So you're building trust with your ideal client, you're creating content around your services, how you actually provide that service, who you work with. You're creating content around all of that stuff and putting it on the same website that is essentially asking your people to invest in you. So of course it would make sense to have your blog content on that website. For people who, I'm going to say, don't have a business, like, Substack is great in my opinion if you're not looking to build a successful business or like a online home for your business. If you're just looking to write, like, I'm thinking about this person who she has started to basically do book reviews, and I'm thinking about her. It would be great for her to just write her reviews on Substack, because we know that she's just writing about this specific thing. She's not offering a service in regards to these books and these reviews that she's writing. All she's doing is putting the information out there, finding a place to publish her thoughts on something. So if you have a brand, a business, if you offer services, if you take payment for services, if you have a blog that is going to give an inside look into your process, who you treat, how you treat them, the different ways in which you will help them achieve X goal, or a description of what a certain service is, or questions that your ideal client asks you, the ideal place to put that is going to be your brand website. So wherever your website is, whether it's WordPress, Squarespace, Wix, what have you, make sure it's on your website. And then if you're writing recreationally, like, I'm thinking, if you're a PT clinic owner, you might be also like a gardener on the side. So maybe you're going to write blogs on Substack about gardening. Great. Amazing. That would be the delineation there of should I be on my website or Substack, and then definitely not putting it on both. We're not putting it on both because Google will read that and it will see that it's duplicate content. So you don't want that. And then technically you're plagiarizing yourself. So obviously that's problematic. I had a quick thought about, I was talking about the gardening and the website and blogging, and you're going to do your gardening process. The train fell off the tracks. Either way, that would be my thought on should I have a website, my blog on my website, or should I have a Substack account and write on Substack? Oh, this was what I was going to say. So if you're going to put effort into writing something and you want to write for a journal or you want to write for, a specific magazine, they have different places you can do it. I'm going to type in my computer right now. I know Harrow just switched, or Haro, however you pronounce it, but I think they just switched companies. So Harrow, help a reporter out. They just switched over to what's called Cision. So I don't know how the process works right now, but I'll put a link in the show notes to Cision. So if you're going to, spend extra time writing things and writing content, for me, I would rather do that and write for something else to get the link back. So an external link. So writing a journal article, being an expert witness, being an expert collaborator, what have you, that type of stuff. And once you get associated with a specific writer, they will oftentimes come back to you for that expert opinion because you worked with them before. So it can be nice to establish a relationship with someone who writes articles and what have you. So you can try Cision. It looks like if you go to helpareporterout.com, it reroutes you to this Cision thing. And I remember they did change websites. So regardless, Harrow is now Cision. And you can write for different magazines there. And that would obviously be a separate blog, quote unquote, piece of writing than a blog post. You wouldn't want to be like, I wrote this blog for my website. You can share it with them and say, will you link it in your content? But if you're actually writing new content, you want to make sure that it's different from what's on your blog. Okay, so that's all I have for you. I wanted to make sure that this information was out there because I know that Substack exists and it is great as far as if you want to publish content. And it's a recreation. Like if I decided to publish content on, beach volleyball or a dog or training dogs, whatever, then it would be on Substack, in my opinion. But because I have a service, because you likely have a service, if we're going to have a blog, we're going to write content around our services and our business, we're going to put that on our website. All right. Thank you so much for listening. I will catch you next time.